Obviously, we all are research scholars, we all are teachers, we all are academicians. We knew how to teach the students. But in the current era, the things are getting changed. Now there is an artificial intelligence, there is a big data, there is a management skills. There are different multidisciplinary skills are coming up with innovative teaching pedagogies and innovative teaching methodologies too. To keep with that, today we are going to see what are the different teaching methods which will be helpful for the development of the students and for the development of the society. So let's begin the journey of today's session, effective teaching methods. I'm going to start my session by this quote. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has stated that I believe there is no other profession in the world that is more important to society than that of a teacher. There is a huge responsibility over the shoulder of teacher to shaping up the society, to shaping up the career, and to shaping up the nation. And that is why teaching methodology is very much important task in current era. Ma'am, uh, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, that entry voice, can you reduce the volume of that?
Voice. Let me try, sir. Let me try, sir.
Okay, no issue, no issue. I'll go ahead then. Okay. So, before moving towards the actual content of the today's effective teaching methods, let me just tell you, the teaching is basically depends upon the knowledge. It was the conventional thing which was happening since last 5 decades, that people are having a knowledge, they are working over their subjects and topics, they are thinking about the students, their need level background, and in accordance with that they are creating simple solution over the complex problem. And that is the main activity and beauty of every teacher, to shaping up the students life and to make them aware about the current scenario, about the current concepts, and about the current issues which is happening in the society, and which is really needful for the come up with the desirable solution. And that is why a good teacher is a master of simplification of any way of simplism. And that is why to conversion of complex problem into simple problem is a main duty of every teacher. And for that matter, teacher today is facing these type of things. Okay, remember the black fonts showing main important things which is required to become a efficient or a good teacher. But remember, there are certain hindrances, there are certain resistances we are creating for ourselves not to become a good teacher. Remember one thing, whenever you wanted to make students aware about the concept, whenever you wanted to make them understand, remember, you need to guide them on a side. You need to come up with a more explorative knowledge. But we sometimes no longer stage on the stage. We have to focusing on more coaching and modeling. But remember, we are resisting ourselves, and here we are less telling, more finding out with the student. Remember, you are dig out more information from the students, you try to dig out more information from the society and from the field, but you are becoming a less expert. You are not exploring your mind, you are not learning things in the 360-degree approach. More cross disciplinary thinking is required. But what we are doing, we are having a less specialization. Not we, but there are so many people, those who are having a less specialization, they are sticking out only on one specialization, and because of that these limitation leads to create less knowledge delivery to the students. Remember, less privacy and isolation again will create hindrances for you. So there should be more teamwork, more multidimensional assessment should be required, and more performance based assessment should be there. Why? Because students nowadays not giving their 100% on pen and paper test. They are focusing more about the practical knowledge. And if you are designing some methodology or some pedagogies where you will come up with more practical learning of the students, then and then only you will get the full result. And there are certain things which will tell you that how you can become one good teacher. So these are the certain methods nowadays which is under the effect of good teaching methods. Active learning, flipped classroom, problem-based learning, that is PBL. There are two types of PBL in the effective teaching methods. First is a problem-based and second is a project-based. Technology integration. Nowadays, gamification is at its peak. It is one form of interactive learning where you can come up with so many games, where you can come up with the interactive content, where you are coming up with the so many virtual games too, through which you are engaging the student mind in the learning. But obviously, this is very interactive method to engage them for the learning purpose. Along with that, it creates a fun of learning. Again, next thing is differentiation instructions, collaborative learning, inquiry based learning, and mindfulness and reflection. So these are the different methods for the effective teaching. But before moving toward that, let me show you one picture. Are you all aware of this personality? Just put your message in the comment box. Okay. He is a person who has played many roles. In a different movie, he come up with the different character. And in accordance with that, he's trying to create some perfection in himself. This is the most successful actor of India, Mr. Amir Khan. But remember, for every movie, he taken up a challenge. He transformed himself. And for his next movie, he transformed himself in such a way where people start calling him Mr. Perfectionist. For every type of role, he was doing the justice. He's trying to change himself all the time because he thought that when he will get perfection in himself, then and then only he can do the justice with his role. And for that matter, every teacher, every faculty member, whoever is teaching on his different field of specialization, you need to get some perfection in your knowledge. Then and then only your perfection will leads to create that kind of knowledge environment for the student, where student will start learning and understanding the concept. Before moving towards the effective teaching methods, remember, these are the conventional methods which we have been using since long period of time. Active learning. Obviously, many of the faculty members are organizing group discussions, debates, problem solving tasks, case studies, and hands-on experiments. Yeah, obviously, just to get a fruitful outcome over any kind of problem. Many of the faculty members come up with the teamwork and start giving the problems to the student and start asking them about the problem to get the particular solution over it. And obviously, many head, many minds, and obviously because of that many minds, many solutions come out, and one desirable solution will be there to solve the problem. And for that matter, group discussion is there. Debate is also there. Problem solving tasks are there where analytical and problem solving ability of student has to be solved. This intention was there in the minds of faculty member. Case studies and hands-on experiment is always leads to create that type of environment where student will start thinking that I am getting a chance to portray my skills, to portray my decision making ability, where they will be having more inclusion in the learning activities. And that is why active learning is already there in the conventional teaching methodology. But apart from this, flipped classroom is also there for engaging student and engaging people in the different educational and learning activities. Obviously, sometimes teachers discussing about the add-on knowledge. That discussion is there. Collaborative projects are there. Knowledge application is there. And for that matter, you need to sensitize your student about the societal problem, national problem, where student will be knowing that what kind of things which is being required by their nation from them. Here I'm going to take an example. In the flipped classroom, I conducted one session where we took all our students to the villages. And in those villages, our students start learning what are the problems of the villagers. I'm going to escape this slide and I'm going to show you one more slide which will tells you that what kind of solutions students are coming up with. Can you see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these students went to the villages, they did the survey, and after doing the survey, we came to know that there is a problem of load shedding in the rural sector. Many of the people are not getting electricity on the time, and that is why they are not getting proper flour mill facility in the rural region, and because of that, they are facing a problem of food. They just wanted to convert wheat, gram, jowar, bajra into flour, but unfortunately, because of the absence of the electricity, they are not able to do that. After collecting all these responses from the respondents, what did students do? They are engaging themselves with the engineering student and they come up with that ideology that they need to come up with human driven flour mill where no electricity required. That proposal they submitted to the government and they are waiting for the funding also. But here, by the use of idle, people can grind their all the cereals, wheat and jawar, and they will get flour without using electricity. Remember, this project is not only for the sake of development of a rural region, but this will be helpful for the development of student mindset. They are not only participating in the learning activity, but they are participating also in the nation's development and societal development. This is all about the enhancement of their knowledge towards the development of the nation, towards the development of society. So don't limit your student only for the book. Let them go outside. Let them know the problems of the respondent. Let them know the problems of villagers. Let them know the problem of societies. And in accordance with that, let them find a solution. Obviously, it is a part of flipped classroom. Obviously, it is a part of a learning outcomes activity. Then and then only they are realizing what is the demand of society and what their education is going to contribute into that. They will have a learning fun. They will be coming up with the innovative solutions, which will be definitely resulting into such type of innovation and invention, which will leads to create good nation and good country. Okay. So there is one more innovation which I'm going to tell you that we will be discussing later on. Okay. So, have you understood the thing? What I wanted to tell you through this flipped classroom activity? What is the intention of faculty members to conduct this classroom activity? Have you understood it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next thing is I was talking about. is problem-based learning. Remember one thing always, wherever there is a problem, there is a solution. And for getting that solution, you need effective mind. And where it is available with us in form of our students. Obviously, our students will find out the best solution for the effective learning abilities, for the effective outcome. And this method promotes problem solving abilities of the student. You need to describe the problem of this society in front of them. You need to discuss the background of the scenario. You need to discuss the future outcome and the benefits of that respective problem, where these students will come up with their own thoughts and their own solution to make your country proud. And how you will do that? Again, I am going to discuss one of the problem where I had felt at the time of conducting my research. There are certain products which is being village made, and these village made problems, we are facing one issue, that was a branding issue. They came to know currently there is a one tagline which is very popular in Indian marketplace: जो दिखता है वही बिकता है. Before some minutes I just described one example of engineering students, but I taken support of MBA and management students too. You knew it very well. जो दिखता है भी बिकता है means the village made products are available in the marketplace, but unfortunately because of no brand name, because of no market, because of no supply chain, it was very hard and difficult to recognize your product in the marketplace. And obviously because of that, people were resisting themselves to buy these village made items. So it was an opportunity for my student to come up with the solution over these kind of problems, and it was a problem-based learning. When such kind of things happen, when problem arises, so what kind of solution would be there? So what was happened? My management student taken an initiative and they develop and they innovate one logo for village making product, and they given one tagline also: सहयोग, एक कदम गांव की उन्नति की ओर. One tagline, and that is there for gaining people attention towards village making products. Here the role of branding, here the role of marketing communication, here the role of marketing management, they perform with this activity because they identify the problem, and based on the problem they come up with that solution. After doing a heavy brainstorming, after having so much discussion, after rejecting more than 50 design, they come up with this design. Why? Because they shown the hand of support, they shown the grains, they shown the flower, they shown the green color which is reflecting the green revolution farming and everything, and based on that they shown a connect of support that is called as a sahayog. And this is called as a problem based learning, and throughout that they are come up with the solution for the development of village and society. So remember, whenever you wanted to create such kind of scene or such kind of environment for the learning, obviously your student will come up with more innovative outcome because they are taking it up as a challenge. And when these challenge arises, obviously there is a huge opportunity to get innovative mind from your students, and obviously this will be happen when you conduct effective method of teaching to find out more amount of solution from your students. Now let's move toward the next part, that is project based learning. Now what is mean by project? An activity which is being given for one time period. Ask them to investigate the market. Ask your student to investigate the scenario. Ask your student to investigate the problems happening around themselves. or problem happening around the family members. You need to identify these kind of problems to giving an examination test for your student. Let them analyze the problem. Let them analyze the real world problems. Let them analyze the interdisciplinary learning and teamwork activity. Then and then only they will be come up with such kind of communication activity. But for that matter, you need to understand the project which is being handing over to your student, that should be based on the genuine problem which is existed in the marketplace. I'm going to take an example of solar products or solar energy products. Nowadays, many of the people are installing solar panel over their rooftops. Now, this is the problem. Why people are more inclined towards the solar energy? Why people are using only green products nowadays? Do they facing a problem of electricity bill? Do they wanted to consume less amount of electricity? They wanted to save energy and they wanted to take a benefit of environmental available sun through creating energy resources. This was the problem which was being given to my students, and it was an analysis of green product attraction to create to understand the attraction creation amongst the people towards the green product, and especially towards the solar product. They start investigating the entire scenario. They analyze the problem, and based on that, they start surveying the marketplace. Afterward, they come up with the solution. Yes, many of the people are using solar panels. Many of the people are having inclination toward the solar goods and everything. But behind these attraction, what is the main root cause problem is the prices of electricity has gone up, and because of that many of the people cannot afford the higher price of electricity, and that is why they start moving towards the solar products. So you just given them a project based learning. You should tell them how to conduct the survey, how to collect the information, how to prepare the report. Out of the book, they will understand the real problem of the marketplace, and afterwards, they will come up with the solution which will be given a great outcome for their learning purpose. Now, next is technological integrations. Now, as far as the technological integration is concerned, I'm going to show you one website where you can discuss with your student that how to do the academic activities. You can use educational application, you can use online resources, you can use interactive method, virtual simulation, multimedia, where you can create an engagement with the students, and that will leads to create a good understandability among the students and student group. Here I am going to share one link with you which will tells you that how online resources can be useful to engage with the student. So I'm requesting all of you to please share your email ID with me so I can add you as my students. Please mention your email ID in the chat box. Okay. So before adding your email ID, I'm just going to tell you that there was application that is called as a slack.com. You can download one application from the Play Store, or you can directly go to the desktop and enter www.slack.com, slack.com. This type of user interface will shown to you, where I have created one class that is management MBA. and here you can come up with such type of window. Here there is an option to add colleagues. You can add your student. Here I am going to add you in my interface, and for that matter, I'm going to enter your email ID. So I'll be going to Google Classroom. I'm copying your email ID one by one, and you will get joining Ramina. Remember, this is just for your understanding because these effective methods can lead to create a connection with you, your connection with your student, and you will be able to engage your student by the online platform too. So I add some of the student names, some of the people name, or you can join it by this invite link, which I had just shared with you in the chat box. Okay. So remember, what I'm going to do is first, whenever I wanted to discuss something with my student, I will write, dear students, welcome to the class. So afterward, I wanted to give you one assignment. So what I will do is, can you see this window clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is a case study for you. And for that matter, there is an option available to add an attachment. Look at this plus sign. I shared link with you. Please join this link. Otherwise, you can see this entire operation by this screen. So I will click on this attachment. Okay. There is an option. You can create the post. You can create the text snippet, or you can upload it from your computer. So I will click on that. I'm choosing one case study of marketing plan. I'm going to click OK. That file has been uploaded, and I have shared that. Okay. Okay. So I have shared that case study with you, which you can open, which you can download, which you can see. And here some of the questions have been mentioned into it. So what is my duty? I have asked the question. Now you just need to understand what are the thinking and what are the views of your students. So here I'm asking to the people, please mention your answers and put it in this chat box. Please put your views on the given case study. I can send direct message also. If I wanted to send direct message to Aparna too, so I will do, hi Aparna, have you solved the case study? So that message will be go to Aparna Joshi. Suppose I wanted to send a message to the Anshu Arora. Hi Dr. Anshu, have you solved the case study? Now remember one thing, as you can see that there is option which is there in the Google Classroom, but you cannot have a personal discussion with the student or personal discussion on the student with particular topic. Here you can create a different assignment to the students on one single platform. And remember, the data will be stored, and that is an evidence you are discussing a student. You have done the evaluation activity, which is conducted personally for himself. Some of the students may be absent from their evaluation activity. So at that time, what you will do? Either you need to conduct one separate examination by the pen and paper method, and obviously that will be time consuming activity. So instead of doing these things, you will be conducting one activity on this Slack platform where student will appear for an examination and all the data will be recorded, all the data will be saved for the future course of time and for the future references. Remember one thing always, as far as this thing is concerned, this is the free version which I am showing. There is a paid version too. According to your choice, you may go with it. But yes, this is the platform where you are using virtual technology to get engaged with the student and to get more number of responses from the student for the evaluation activity. Now here, let's coming back to the topic, that is technology integration. Just we saw, and one demonstration as I have given within 1 hour lecture. That is difficult to tell you everything about technological integration. When I will get a chance in a future course of time, definitely I will be coming up with the more number of technology and simulation program where you will be able to understand that what kind of technological components you can get into your practice for the enhancement of teaching learning activity. Next is gamification. Here, I'm going to talk about engaging students by the activities of game, gamification. You can conduct management games. You can conduct hackathon. You can conduct technothon. You can conduct quizzes, assignment, assessment. There are number of virtual platforms available to conduct these kind of activities. Here I am going to talk about gamification, to conduct any activity which is based on games. Here I am going to give you one more example that is called as Kahoot. I hope you can see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kahoot. Okay. Now I will click here, create a course. Here you need to conduct number of activities. You can create your Kahoot test. You can create your Kahoot song activities. You can create a number of things. As far as the creation is concerned, you have to go create kahoot.it. On Kahoot, once you create your account for your students, remember this is also a free version. For the paid version, you have to pay some nominal charges, which is there. You will be find out to get a premium account. But for that matter, what you need to do is uh, uh, here you have to go to that button and you have to click on it. That is called as create course. Here I am going to create one interactive quiz and I am going to click on this Kahoot. Add one Kahoot and I am going to load my library. You can enter the picture and you can enter their options. The picture, identify the picture. Advanced farming of Mohenjo-daro, civilization of ancient India, famous terrace farming in Machu Picchu, and Himalayan caves. You can set the right answer by this manner, and afterward I'm going to remove it and I'm going to add new one. These are the answers, and this is the preview. We need to remove because I had already run this activity before. So what we need to do is we need to add a new module where we are going to given a name MBA. Afterward, I'm going to add activity and I'm going to click on it. I'm going to add activity again. So this is an instructor account. So because of that, I cannot see the question. I can judge the question only. The moment when I will add a number of students into it, they will see that picture only. And after seeing that picture, they need to answer the question from the given options. And obviously, it is up to you that what kind of answer is this, and based on that, you need to mention it, which is the correct answer. And once the student will click on the answer, you will be find out the result from the given quiz. And that is the main important activity of Kahoot, where you can use a picture, where you can using the interactive videos and content, Based on that, you can conduct an evaluation test which will be truly funful in nature, and through this you will be able to get more student engagement with the Kahoot.it. Now let's move on to the next section. After gamification, next is collaborative learning. Remember, collaborative learning is an engagement and cooperative activity for the peer learning. Sometimes students coming up with their own thoughts, and sometimes they are enhances their communication skills and teamwork by the different perspective. Here, for the collaborative learning, I am going to tell you one more application that is called as a Mentimeter. This is the collaborative activity website that is called as Mentimeter. One mentor can develop that platform of Mentimeter. The moment when you open this Mentimeter slide, the interface will be like that. Okay. So you will be coming up with the new presentation. You have to click on that new presentation. The moment when you click on it, new presentation, there are number of choices available for you. You can do your course expectation survey. You can do the course goal. Means there are number of things available for teaching and learning methods. You can create interactive content, you can create interactive slides, you can create interactive case studies through which you can engage your students for participate in teaching learning activities. Now this is an option. I'm going to create a blank template where I'm going to take their question and answer session through open end method. Okay, so if you will download the Mentimeter, remember this open-end quiz I have started, but for that matter, you need to share this code with your student, and then only they can enter into the examination activity, whichever you are conducted for student. So this is your code 78058215. This is your code to enter into Mentimeter. Now, question will be open-ended, subheadings, all these things. If you wanted to add any image into it, you have to click on that. You have to upload it from the computer. Click on this. Ask your student to write an answer over the question. I have this marketing mix picture with me, which I am adding into it. And I'm going to save it. Now, there is one QR code which is there, and that QR code will be share. You can share with your students. So after clicking on the share option over here, two options will be available for you. Either you can copy the link and share with your students. Okay. And second thing is download the QR code. So with the help of this QR code, you can share it on your Google Classroom or Slack or anything, any platform where you are communicating with your student. By that method, people will get into your classroom and they will be a part of your presentation activity. Okay, is it clear to you? Okay. So these are the options which is already available in the marketplace. You can take its advantage by the free methods, but later on you need to pay the charges. But remember one thing always, before paying the charges, there are certain things which you can use in a free manner and that will be beneficial for you and for your students too. So this could be an example of collaborative learning through which you can engage your students in the different activities of the teaching, and you can come up with the fruitful outcomes by the problems arose by the conceptual teaching. Now next is the inquiry based learning. Remember one thing, as far as inquiry is concerned, now you need to provide good avenues to your students to do a fruitful research that will be benefits to the faculty, that will be benefits to the students, and that will be benefits to the institutions too. Many of the students are knowing the subject research methodology. They are learning it from the book. They are learning it from the notes. They are learning it from the different videos and the resources available on the virtual platform. But in reality, how to deal with the respondents, how to collect the data, how to identify the problem, how to do the literature survey. After doing the literature survey, how to do the systematic literature survey, how to draw the conclusion. These things, they don't knew it in a practical manner. So for that matter, faculty members collaborate students for the inquiry based learning. You can ask your student to collect the data. You can ask your student to identify the problem or the one solution. You need to identify the research area to collect the data. You need to ask them for an inquiry to the people. And when the student will go to interact with the people, they will nurture a problem solving skills. Before some days, we conducted one research on skill development initiative and its impact on the employability. So for that matter, obviously, students are not in a state to get directly interact with the faculty members. So we ask our student to formulate the questions and conduct a research for the inquiry-based learning. They start inquiring about the skill development activities. They start inquiring about the impact of skill development on the employability, on entrepreneurship, and they start gather data from it. Trust me, one faculty member, me, and three of our students made one research paper, and that is being selected for a Scopus publication, and very soon it is going to listed in a Scopus directory. That time I feel very proud that my student has got such kind of recognition by their efforts and by this work. And it was an inquiry based learning. Through this, the add-on points has been credited in their account that they have become a good researchers also. They're not only going to acquire MBA degree only, they are going to acquire a research ability where they are inquiring with these societal members and society people, and throughout that they are going to get a fruitful outcome, and which is going to be published in form of research paper in one of the reputed index journal. And that is why inquiry based learning is very much important as far as a teaching learning method is concerned. Next is the last part, of today's effective teaching learning method. This mindfulness and reflection. Remember, there is something which is beyond teaching, which is beyond books, which is beyond teaching learning exercise. That is mental peace, calmness, one peaceful environment you need to provide to your students. You need to communicate with them on one-to-one basis. You should have an emotional connect with your students. You need to know their names one by one. When you will knowing them by their name, there will be an emotional connect happen in between you and students. Apart from that, you need to give them some yoga exercise, breathing exercise. You need to mentor them. You need to guide them about the meditation. You need to encourage them about the critical, about the find out the critical solution or the critical problems of the nation and the society. The mindfulness and reflection when faculty is providing to their student, apart from the teaching and learning, the student will feel very high. You won't lose anything if you'll give something add on to your student, but your student will be feel high that our faculty members is giving something extra. You are not only giving them a cake, but you are giving them a cherry on a cake. Yoga, breathing exercise, mental peace activities that will lead to create a mental stability among the students. They will forget about the stress activities. They will start thinking every activity in a positive way, and they will be coming up with the more positive, fruitful activity which will enhancing their learning abilities. And remember, this mindful and reflection activities definitely encourage a student to critically examine the problems, and afterward they will be able to solve problems, and their analytical skills, their problem solving ability, and moreover their decision making abilities will be enhanced by this teaching learning methodology and effective teaching methodology. I hope you understand all these things which I have taught you in today's lecture. I know there are certain limitations of timing, and because of that, I couldn't explore more things about the virtual teaching, learning, and abilities. But one fine day, if I'll get a chance, definitely I will teach you more virtual platform where you will be able to interact with your students with very more interactive way, and you will engage them in a proper virtual platform and medium. So that is end for today's lecture. But before moving towards the end of the session, I would like to show you one story by the PPT. Hardly it will take a 5 minutes if you'll allow me to do so. Ma'am, is it possible
Yes, sir.
to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is one story of Chinese pot, which I am going to share with you. As far as the teacher is concerned, these things are very much important in our life. I hope this PPT is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the story is of one elderly Chinese woman had two large pots. Each hung on her shoulder, and it was connected by one pole, which she carried across her neck. One of the pots had a crack in it, while the other pot was perfect and always delivered a full portion of water. At the end of a long walk from the stream to the house, the cracked pot arrived only half full. It means the water she carried in that pot, it was fallen down, and she was able to carry it out only half of the pot water at the destination. For the full 2 years, this went on daily, with the woman bringing home only 1.5 pots of water, because half pot was poured on the ground And of course, the perfect pot was proud of its accomplishment. The perfect pot was always having a pride that I'd done my job with 100%, and other pot was doing its job by 50%. But the poor cracked pot was ashamed of its own imperfection and miserable that it could only do half of the work of its efficiency it had been made to do. After 2 years of what is perceived to be bitter failure, the pot start feeling that I have got a failure from my efficiency, and because of that, I'm not able to perform my duty, my job, my activity by 100%. Obviously, it's a failure. It spoke to the woman that pot that I'm ashamed of myself because of this crack in my side causes water to leak out all the way back to your house, and I'm not able to perform my duty by 100%. The old woman smiled. Did you notice that? There are flowers on your side of the path, but not on the other side of path. The part which is performing the duty by 100%, he is not blessed by the flowers in his path. But the water which you poured in the way and path, you are blessed with the flowers. That is because I have always known about your flaw. So I planted flower seed on your side of the path, and every day while we walk back, you water them daily. And because of that water, because of that 2 years of your contribution, I have been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate my house and table. Without you being just the way you are, there would not be this beauty to grace the house. Each one of us has unique flaw. Remember, we are the flowers. We are carrying our talent with us. But remember, this talent, this water, we are utilizing for raising our students, for the development of our students, for reward of them, for shaping their career to make them a budding flowers, which will be help our nation and society. So we have to see our own capabilities, and based on that we need to nurture our students in a such a way where these teaching and these orientation will develop our student in a such a way where they will be help to our nation and help to our society. That is end for from my that is the ending of from my end. I hope you understood the things which I taught you today in today's lecture.